everybody, thanks for clicking on our video. We are Access Hockey MI, and we are coming to you with our final 3 of the top 10 picks for the NHL 2022 Entry Draft. And this is all just speculation. This is all us looking at video, looking at players, picking out the guys we want, the guys we don't want. And that's basically what we're doing. So today's 8, 9, to 10. 8 is where Detroit will be picking, which is, of course, our pride and our honor to guess and surmise who they might pick. So we're going to talk about...
They have allowed us to do this.
Yeah, they haven't said we couldn't, so that is how we...
We'll take that as permission.
Yes,
granted.
we have been allowed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video. Make sure you comment. We really like to see all the conversation going. And really like to just have community. That's why we do this. We do this because we want to talk hockey with all of you strangers. So help us do that by subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video with all your friends. And let's get into it. Our next 3.
Yes, the week before the drafts. This is really exciting.
It is.
So number 8, like Janae said, is where Detroit will be picking. So we are by no means saying this is the person we want and or will get. If we're right, you can send money to our P.O. box, which we don't have. We'll make one so you can send money. Danila Yurov, he's 6'1", about 180 pounds. He's a right winger out of Russia. He was placed 7th overall in the NHL Central Scouting European skaters list. So we kind of look at those 2 lists separately and compare with the other ones. They're all over the place, really. Yeah. There's hardly any consistency.
It's everybody's best guess, basically.
Exactly. He was in the MHL, which would be their major junior league, almost like their AHL affiliate. And in 36 games, he had 23 points. He did get promoted to the KHL, which is their adult league over there, and he had 21 games played. He did not tally any points, but also keep in mind, he was getting pretty limited minutes. We understand that it's been about 4 minutes a night, but it's, again, playing against bigger dudes, and it was a promotion for him, so hopefully we'll see a lot more out of him next season. Regardless
of how much he played in those games, it's good that he got some exposure to it. Some of the bigger leagues, the bigger guys, we always think that is a very good thing to do, especially before a draft year, especially before you're trying to see where you're going next. To play in leagues like that is very important. So a few things that we really liked about him, and it's obvious for what we've seen in Russian style of play and what we've experienced being Red Wings fans in Russian style of play.
I don't know if you know anything about Russians.
I don't know if you get it. Would be his soft hands and his puck handling. So that basically means he's very fluid with his puck handling, with his puck protection. He's very good at deking, at working a play like in front of a guy, just being able to keep the puck away. It's very important, of course, in the game of hockey to be able to do those things, and he does them very smoothly and very well, and all of that kind of goes into his skating, which is also, I would say, of these 3, he's going to be the better of the 3 skaters of the 3. So not of like all 10, but of these 3 guys, he's going to be probably the better skater. He is not the smallest in these 3 guys, but he is going to be on the smaller side. He's got good acceleration. He's not tiny, but he also is going to need to get some meat on his bones. Right.
And the first thing that came to mind when we were watching footage of him is Detroit's other prospect, Kirill Tuchayev, who, again, he kind of started similar. He's shorter, but a similar style of play, and you can see the quintessential European and mostly Russian style. It's a very, very unique style. His skating is, like Janae said, one of his best features, I would say.
And his passing.
Yeah, he's a very high-skilled puck handler, but his skating, his ability to accelerate quickly and get away, because he is on the smaller side of things, it's really important. So if he's getting rushed on by 2 bigger guys, he can squeeze right through those guys because he is faster. Yeah. And it's really smooth and edgy skating, which is really nice. And I know smooth and edgy are kind of contradictory, but you guys know what I mean.
He is very opportunistic, it seems. And I don't know if this isn't just a Russian thing, but in the recent prospects of the Red Wings that have been Russian, or the ones that we've seen with the Muskegon Lumberjacks, they're very, I want the puck now, and I want to score with it. So very head first as far as, like, there's the puck, get the puck, go score. Like, that is, it's very...
kind of like a dog chasing
very
a ball.
Basic, like, okay, that is the goal of my game, to get a goal. Yep. So he's very much like that. He plays very, very strong, very, let's get the goal, like, let's get going in the offense, let's get this puck to the net.
Spark plug.
And most of his goals have been net front from what we've seen in, like, the breakdown of it all, so that's very exciting. Next, at number 9, we suspect Conor Geekie. He has been, I would say, one of the ones who's kind of everywhere on everybody's list.
Yes.
He's ranked, what is it, NHL Central?
NHL Central,
she
North
wrote
American.
these notes, and they are wild.
It's chicken scratch. It's 5th North American.
Well, let's just say, first of all, Conor Geekie would be 6'4",
901 pounds.
And he's a center. Why don't you start
He's also
off?
a sumo wrestler.
Let's talk about him.
So he's been playing over in the WHL with Winnipeg for the last 3 seasons. He's had 70 points in the last 63 games this season. So obviously a really good producer. Being that he is bigger, he is a chunky skater. Once he gets moving, he's got good speed. It's just the acceleration is a little labored. We saw that a little bit with our draftee, Elmer Soderblom. He's 6'5", 6'6", I believe.
You even see that with previously drafted Muskegon Lumberjacks. Afanase. I almost said Svechnikov, and I was like, that's not who I'm thinking. And also, he's not chunky.
No, but they've got, a lot of leg strength, but it's just a matter of learning how to take off a little bit quicker. But once he does get going, he can beat out most guys.
Yeah, and and I think this is going to be very common amongst most of these top 20 plus draft picks is going to be their puck protection and just their stick handling in general. So he's very good at puck protection. I think he has to kind of rely on that a little bit considering he's not the best skater. So he's got to be able to outplay and outprotect the guys that are trying to get him too. So that works into a good hockey IQ. He's we kind of heard it said like his head is on a swivel. Like he's always looking for a good pass. He's looking for a good opportunity, to score himself. So that's definitely something that's very important with being a center is having your head on a swivel, making sure that you know where the play is going, where it should go, making that play, being able to execute.
Yeah, and it's a really nice mental image to think about it that way, being that he is a centerman, and we've said it before, that's a big lane to fill. So you do have to always be attentive to everything.
You kind of have to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to be on a wing for a hot second there, or even behind the net. So he does seem to be very cognizant of what's going on around him and able to get to where he's got to go. And he does have a big body and he uses it well. He's got a good reach, and so he does take advantage of that a lot. He does need to get a little smoother, and as do all these guys. It will take a couple of years for many of these to actually make it to NHL level.
Right.
Even being in the top 10, it's not as deep of a draft, I don't think, as we've seen in previous years. But with Geekie, he does have, I think the biggest thing about him is going to be his hockey IQ that people like. That the mind game is the strongest asset for him. That's
very important too. And he's not a puck hog. I don't think any of these guys are. And I think that that's very important too, because if you're only focused on you getting the glory and the goal, you're not going to have your head on a swivel. You're going to be trying to get that puck in the net yourself, which is fine as far as getting a goal for yourself. But if there's a better opportunity, that's where the hockey sense comes in. Where you're like, okay, that pass is better. Boom.
They'll get absolute, like with some of these guys, you see them out trying to out handle. It's like you're going to get leveled as soon as you get to the AHL or NHL.
Yeah.
So knowing that, passing is a good thing.
Yeah, like high skill playing. Like we saw Berggren of the Grand Rapids Griffins. He was drafted and he had a lot of hype coming into this season just because he is such a talented puck handler.
And he lived up to it.
He did live up to it, but there were plenty of times where he would try to out-deke a really good team, and it just didn't work out. So that's when all that has to mature and get to the higher level, and that's what you look forward to once these draft guys start developing.
Yep. And then finally, at number 10, we have Conor Gauthier. He is 6'2". I'm reading my notes. It's really small, so I'm sorry.
We're going to get better at this one day.
Wonders. One day. He's about 200 pounds. He's a left winger. NHL Central Scouting North American has him ranked at 5th. He played with the USA DP, so the U18 development team.
We're familiar with this guy.
We are familiar with him, and they pump out really good prospects every year. So he had 65 points in 54 games. And if you don't mind, I'd like to list his Combine stats.
Oh, go for it.
So we just had the NHL Combine. Big deal. A lot of the top prospects go there for their testing and everything. It's really cool to mention that Gauthier, he plays 6th in the long jump, and this all means something, so I'll say that in a second. 8th in the agility test, left side, 9th in pull-ups, and 5th in the Wingate test, which is an aerobic capacity test. So all of that plays into his probably best feature overall is his acceleration and
power
skating.
Output.
Tons of power. This kid can skate for miles without even losing his breath. So all of that kind of plays into that and really shows that he is among the best in the skating sense.
If you have that and you can build on that, that's going to be a very dangerous force for whatever team picks him up, whether he goes 10 or even if he moves up, just for those stats in general, to have a good base like that to work on, just a physically fit person to work on. And to add to that, he is very skilled in the hockey realm. So he did have 65 points, 54 games played, and we're familiar with him because he played in the U18s. And the U18s, if you're not familiar with it, they play USHL teams, but they also play college teams. So they're getting a lot of exposure, and they're very good. Yeah. They're an elite team.
Yeah, they're not playing like these D4 teams.
And if you remember, in the last drafts, we've had many USHL players drafted, and almost the entire team of Team U18, the USA team, and he is part of that, and is definitely not going to be a disappointment wherever he goes. And of course, in all of that, they're picked based on their elite skills. So that would be acceleration and skating. So as Rachel said,
it's a cherry-picked team, almost like an expansion team.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, exactly. You're going to be super great, and we're going to help you get there. And they work on the elite, and because they can play the college teams, they can further see where they're going to end up. And I think he is committed right now to Boston University. Yep. So he will be playing in college. Who knows if that will happen, if he, depending on draft stuff. And
as of right
now, that's where he's thinking about going. But yeah, all the skating of the world is in his lap.
It really is. And with that too, so he's not only good at skating, he can actually play the game. His board work and body work is something that not only his skating, but something that stood out to me when he gets trapped along the boards. He is a bigger kid, and he handles himself really well. He was able to get a lot of passes. We watched a lot of footage. We've seen him play live, being in the USHL realm. And so just being able to get those passes out and kind of muscle his way through very difficult plays he's very skilled in that sense. He's not a great puck handler. There's nothing fancy there. Yeah. It's not like, Dazzle. He can get the job done. But he knows where to place the puck. Even if it's not pretty, he knows where it needs to go.
Yeah, and that, of course, speaks to hockey sense and hockey IQ, which is all very important in just any position of hockey. And him being a left wing, it's going to be important as well. So he is an exciting one. And I would say he does still need improvement in the skating. Yeah. I would say that he's got a lot to build on from the stats that we've seen and from everything that we've been able to surmise. So if any of these three guys go at 8, I would be happy with that. I am partial to Yurov, but I'd be happy with basically anyone in the top 10, even below. Getting a pick at 8 is it's a good pick.
We can make it work.
Oh, we have made it work.
For sure. We can make it
There
work.
is so much going on in behind the scenes as far as the prospects that have been signed, the prospects that are coming, the guys that we've got for Grand Rapids, re-signing.
Seider won Rookie of the Year.
Brief congratulations to Moritz Seider for winning Rookie of the Year. Very exciting.
You. It's been a long time since we've had one of those.
Well, it's just been so much fun to watch, and I think it kind of puts the spotlight a little bit on the Red Wings as far as a C.
Yeah, we got him at 6th. We can do
not only him.
Lot.
We had him. We had Raymond, and just this year, those two guys. I just think it's great that they're happy to play in Detroit, and they're happy to bring something back to Detroit.
The tides are turning in Detroit.
I think that's what Seider said. He was happy to bring something back to Detroit, and I think that was very encouraging to see. And it's encouraging as fans just because we're here behind them, and that's what we like to see. And we saw him in Grand Rapids, and it's just exciting.
I don't want to brag, but
it's just really exciting. So these three guys, keep an eye on them and where they go. Next week, we are going to be doing a draft preview. So we're going to kind of summarize everything that we've talked about in this top 10 that we've given you. We're gonna look at what Yzerman is saying, what any of the scouting staff is saying, any of the coaches. We're gonna look at all that, kind of break it down for you in the coming week. Yes. Because the draft is on our heels. So
it's on my birthday, so you can wish me a happy birthday as well.
Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see go at 8 now that we're finally here. And if you agree with anything that we've said, that would be sweet. If you disagree, please tell us why. We'd like to hear that.
Nice.
Make sure you subscribe, you like this channel, and you share it with all your friends. And thanks so much for watching. We just enjoy talking hockey, and we appreciate that you guys take the time out of your day to watch it with us.
Happy drafting.
With us. Yes, happy drafting. Bye, guys.